Well, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, it's been a long time since my last upload, and I thought maybe I should probably get another video out. So, today on the table, here's what we're going to do. I currently have a UNRAID NAS for myself. It's where I store my files for the video shoots. My wife currently uses a Mac, and she's running out of space on it, and we're gonna swap it out with something else. Anyway, long story short, she wants to have a NAS as well. So today I'm gonna build just a quick and dirty NAS, and we'll get it set up so that she can use it as a time machine, as well as just a general SMB share or AFP, whichever. I'm not sure yet. So yeah, let's just stick around and let's get this thing done. Okay, let's quickly go over the parts here. Just a little disclaimer, this isn't going to be how do you build a computer or NAS, nor is it going to be an UNRAID tutorial. This is literally, let's just build a budget NAS, get it up and running, get Time Machine configured on it so the Mac can see it, and maybe a share. And yeah, we'll just move on with life. So I'm going to be reusing this board. It's an AMD based board. I can't actually remember what's in it, but once I find out, I'll just put it on the screen. We're going to use an existing 1 terabyte NVMe as a cache, although I don't really think I need this, to be honest, because we are going to be using like traditional SSDs, like 2.5-inch discs. I'm going to put this in anyway. I've already got an UNRAID USB built with, we'll have a new license attached to it. We're going to have 2.5 gig Ethernet. Here's a couple of terabyte, these are 2 terabyte drives. I actually have no idea how to pronounce this. I don't know if it's like Ranjana, I don't know, or who knows? I have no idea how to pronounce that. If somebody does, phonetically spell it out in the comments. I have a brand new power supply and a brand new case, and there's also a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet switch in here, unmanaged switch. I'm going to build sort of, I shouldn't say build, I'm going to configure basically our own physical LAN. So my editing PC, my wife's Mac, and both of our servers will both be on this 2.5 gig switch, and it'll be connected to a dedicated port on our ISP. I have a 1.5 gig ISP connection, so it actually works pretty good. I'm already doing something similar on my main rig, except I don't have a switch. So yeah, okay, let's get this thing built. All right, let's get this back plate put in. This is an extremely cheap case, so let's see how well it works out. There we go. I think I got that pushed in. That's good. So this board is it's a gigabyte board, and it is a GA-880GM-UD2H. There you go. And it's got 8 gigs of RAM in it. Okay, so let's just stuff this in if it's just barely going to fit. And it has to clear that back. There we go. I've got it. Good stuff. Okay. Get some screws put in here. This case does not have standoffs for every hole on the motherboard, but I'm not overly concerned about that. Just get this screwed in as best as possible. We're going to be building a sort of a communications closet, if you will. And what I mean by that is we're going to buy an IKEA cabinet. And in that cabinet is going to be both our servers, the Ethernet switch, and whatever else I decide to put in there. And that'll kind of keep it out of the way and out of our offices. I just got to try to push this board a bit here. Let's see if I can. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, and anyway, so that'll kind of organize our lives as far as, communications equipment. I have another switch for the rest of the house. I'll put that in there as well. So fortunately, we live in a bungalow, and the basement is semi-finished, I guess, or partly finished. So you can see the floor joists from the main floor. Well, the only floor. So running cables is actually quite easy. Okay, so we got that. Let's drop this power supply in. So I think this is going to make a tidy little server for my wife. And yeah, she'll be able to have her own sort of backup and time machine backup and network share, whatever. So she'll be happy with that. Let's get this put in. Good. Because the reason is I would normally build her a share on my own server, but because I always want to try something new, try some new software, do whatever, test hardware out, I'm constantly killing the current server that I have. And it drives her nuts that I take her share away. So yeah, here you go. This is why we're doing this. Okay, good. So let's do this 24-pin power. And I'll have to be careful because there's nothing supporting the board over here. So I will carefully push this on and try not to flex the board too much. Okay, good. And then we need some CPU supplementary power, which is right here. And I'm going to run that down like so. Excellent. Okay, and then this is front panel headers right here, and as well as front USB. So I will hook that up, even though it's not really, it's not particularly necessary on a server, but might as well have it, right? Okay, so this will be our two USBs. Actually, hold on. One's audio, one's USB. My bad. So we don't need the audio at all, so I'm not going to bother hooking that up. Okay, so there's USB. And let me get these connectors. So we need power and reset. So the reset is this green one right here. I know you guys can't probably see this, but it's a computer build. I'm sure you've all seen a million computer builds. And there. And hard drive LED. Let me see if I can look in there. That is the bottom left. So I'm going to hook that up. And I'm going to, it looks like the stripe is positive, okay? So the stripe is on the right connector. Okay, so hard drive LED. Good. I'm not going to worry about a power light because this is going to be tucked away. Okay, we don't have USB 3 on this board, so that's just going to get tucked away. And then the rest of it is going to be SATA connectors, because there's going to be 2 SATA drives down here. All right, let's get those drives in. I just noticed something. I was looking at this. I didn't see these red things. I was like RAN whatever, but it looks like it's an F and a G. So this is like Fan Zhang, I guess is how you would say that. So yeah, Ran China. Whoops. All right, so there's the build. I'm not going to go too crazy on cable management. I got both drives mounted to the bottom. Everything's connected. I've got the 2.5 gig NIC. I've got the NVMe drive, power supply, all that. Everything's all buttoned up. So yeah, quick, simple build. This is going to just be actually a RAID 1 or a mirror, if you will. That's what I'm going to do with this. And 2 terabytes is more than enough for my wife's needs. And later on in the future, if we really, really need to, we can put some more 2.5-inch SSDs in there, and it'll be totally fine. All right, let's get on to this UNRAID configuration. All right, so there we go. It's just booting to the UNRAID. I started the record process a little late. It did see both solid state drives. So let's wait for this to boot, and we will see what its IP address is, and then we'll jump over to my main rig so we can do some configuration on this. Okay, so once your UNRAID machine is up and running, the monitor will have an IP address on it. This is what it happened to be. So when you first log in, it asks you to create a password. So I shall do that right now. All right. Good. So now we're going to activate the software, if I can remember how to do this. Which I can't. I think it's this. No, it's not. It's going to be recover, and we're going to sign in. That's what it is. Okay, good. Let's go back to 10.0.0.83. So my flash GUID is ending in 6413. I'm trying to recover 6413, so I'm going to confirm this. An error. Of course there's an error. Why not? Although, hold on. Wait a second. If I go back to home, and I go to license keys, and this one was purchased, would be this newest one. I'm going to download the key file. Yes, and then I can put the key file in this /config directory. Okay, so hold on. Let me go grab the flash drive from the machine, and I'll put the key file there, and then we'll restart it. Okay, so I've got the system powered down. Here's the starter key. So let's copy this, and let's go to the config folder, and we will paste it in. Okay, the starter key is there. Let me toss this flash drive back in the system, and I think that's going to have it activated. Okay, we've got the key registered. It's the starter edition. It's all we need. Starter edition allows you to have up to 6 devices, and that's totally fine. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have an Athlon 2 X2, I guess. So it's a dual core at 3200 megahertz. And we have 8 gigs of RAM, and that's totally fine for this. All right, so we need to create a pool. So we're going to do something. 2 slots. This is going to be, we're not going to be called cache. We're going to call this, I don't know, tank, I guess is good enough. Oh, lowercase only. I forgot. Okay. And then we're going to assign these drives. And then let's add a pool, and we'll call this cache add. And we're going to assign the NVMe, which is a 2 terabyte. I thought it was a 1 terabyte, but that's fine. Okay, and then we can start the array. Okay, and then actually I forgot we need to format these. So we'll do yes. We're going to format, and we'll click format. Okay, so over here it's formatting. And because we only have 2 drives, we're basically in a mirror. So we have 2 terabytes of space, which is totally fine. That's what we want. Okay, so let's go create a share. And we're going to click add a share. And we will call this, I don't know, Sandy NAS. Sandy's my wife. I'm going to leave it all lowercase. The primary storage will be the tank. Sorry, will be the cache. The secondary storage will be the tank. And we're going to go from cache to tank. That's how it's going to move. We're going to add that. Okay. We need to add a user. So we're going to add a user. We'll just do Sandy. I'll put her favorite password in and click add. All right, lowercase. I keep forgetting. Oops, my caps lock was on. Hold on, I better do my password over again then. Okay, add. Okay, so we'll go back to shares. I'm going to click the share. We're going to export the share because that's how you enable it. We are going to go to private and click apply. Sorry, we're going to go to secure and click apply. And then we're going to choose the user, which is the only one, and we're going to give it read write, and we're going to click apply. Okay, there we go. We now have a share called Sandy NAS. I thought I made that lowercase. Oh well, whatever. And this primary storage is going to be the cache drive. The mover will move it to the tank once it ages out, which is exactly what we want. It's been exported, and it's good. Okay, so there's an SMB share. That's good. Okay, let's see if we can remember how to do time machine. So let's just call it time machine. Oops, that's not how you spell time at all. Time machine. Tank. Copy on write. Auto. None. Add share. Export is Time Machine, yes. And I think we're going to do, I think we're going to do secure as well, so that it requires a password. And we'll do Sandy read write and apply. So the only thing that I'm actually struggling to remember is I thought I could restrict the size of either of these shares. And maybe I don't need to worry about that. I don't know. If somebody's watching that uh, knows what I'm talking about, if I've screwed something up, please, by all means, give me a comment in the comments section so I can come back and fix this later. But like, what I would want to do is I would want to give on her actual SMB share 1 terabyte of space, because that's really all she needs. And then on the Time Machine, I would also want to give 1 terabyte. But it's been a while since I've done anything in UNRAID, so I can't remember how to restrict the share size or if it's even possible. But anyway, whatever. We've got 2 shares made. So I'm just going to jump onto a Mac machine and just have a look and see if I can connect to these. Okay, so I've VNC'd over to my Hackintosh. Let me see if we can find this Time Machine on the network. Set up Time Machine. So what do we do? Add backup disk. Put my password in. Connect. I thought there was a way to put in a. I thought there was a way to put in an IP address. Is what I'm trying to get at here. Okay, well, hold on. First of all, let's do this. Let's go connect to server. And let's see if we can do this. So this was 10.0.0.83. Oops, I got to put SMB. SMB. 10.0.0.83 is the server. So let's go connect. Connect. It's going to be Sandy and her super secret password. And connect. Aha! So there's Sandy NAS. Okay, so there we go. We should be able to create a new folder. Test. Yes. And we should be able to delete this folder. Delete. Yes. Okay. So now, Time Machine. I swear you could put an IP address in. But it's been so long now, I cannot remember how to do this. Okay, I'm back. So actually, here's what it turned out. My Hackintosh is on another switch that is not directly connected to these servers. So once I connected my Hackintosh directly to that 2.5 gig switch, there they are. They showed up. So let's click Time Machine. I'm not going to actually, well, I guess I shouldn't say I'm not going to finish this, but this isn't the machine. This isn't the Mac that's going to back up to this. So I'm just going to click Setup Disk anyway, and I can always delete it later. Okay, so it asks if you want to encrypt the backup or not. I'm not going to do that. Disk usage limit. Here we go. Okay, so this will be fine. So I read that, in fact, here's the SMB share, Sandy NAS. your time machine and the SMB share can exist on the same disks. That's totally fine. I'm going to just set this to 1 TB or close enough. And then I'll click done. And now my Mac will start backing up to that network attached storage. So yeah, in the nutshell, that's it. All right, so there you go. That brings us to the end of the video. There we go. There's a budget NAS. I'll put some links in the video description of the parts that I actually did buy, which was, the hard drives, the case, the power supply, and the switch and whatnot. But the motherboard and RAM and stuff and CPU, it's just junk I had laying around, and that's really all you need. Yeah, and here we go. This my Hackintosh is happily backing up to the time machine. There's the wife's SMB share. So yeah, success all around. Thank you very much for watching. If you've made it this far, you're an absolute rock star. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. See you all in the next one.